Hello again. Welcome to another Thought for the Week here from New Inn Congregational Church near Pontypool. I'm Gordon Cooke. I'm the church minister here. Over the weekend there were a number of stories in the media that related in one way or another to the subject of clothing. If you saw the coverage of the Grammy Awards in the United States over the weekend, you'll perhaps have remembered that one or two of the outfits, particularly that the women were wearing, caused quite a bit of controversy, particularly in terms of how much or indeed how little of their bodies were covered up. And it seems sometimes as if some celebrities want to make the most of such award ceremonies and dress in a deliberately provocative way. At the same time, a newspaper article emerged which said that the Princess of Wales is going to stop giving details of where she gets her clothes from when she does official visits. We know how so often when Princess Catherine is out, everybody admires what she wears, and usually we are told somewhere in the press what designer it was, where you can get something similar. But from now on, she's not going to do that apparently. She really wants us to concentrate on the work that she's doing and not the clothes that she is wearing while she's doing that work. Of course, our media is very often saturated by discussion of clothing. We recognise, don't we, how often we see adverts to do with clothes. We know that YouTube is full of influencers who tell us about the latest fashions, what we have to wear to be in with fashion, in with the crowd these days. And in some senses that's always been the case, but with everybody having internet access and so many opportunities to promote your clothes, maybe that's more the case now than it ever was before. The Bible has a lot to say about clothes. You might be surprised at that. In fact, right in the very early chapters, the second chapter of the Bible, the subject of clothing comes into play. There we are reminded that it is only because we have a fallen relationship with God, we've ruined our relationship with God, that we even feel the need of clothing. You could look it up in Genesis chapter 2 if you want to see that. And through the Bible, we're reminded that clothing is given to us. We wear clothing, and we should wear clothing to cover up parts of our body that shouldn't be on display. Indeed, our clothing should draw attention away from those parts of our body. Sometimes some of those celebrities seem to do the complete opposite, don't they? When Jesus was on earth, he spoke about clothing as well. In his most famous sermon, the Sermon on the Mount, you remember the one that begins with all those blesseds, the Beatitudes. He says this about our clothing. It's in Matthew chapter 6. The reference is on the YouTube page if you want to look it up. So why do you worry about clothing? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. And yet I say to you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Now, if God so clothes the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, will he not much more clothe you, O you of little faith? Therefore do not worry, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. What is Jesus saying there? Well, what he's reminding us of is no matter how much we spend on our clothes, no matter how elegantly we dress, we will never be as beautiful as some of the things that God clothes, like the flowers of the field. And he's also reminding us that there's something far more important that should occupy our attention. That's being right with him, having his righteousness, having that, if you like, as the Bible puts it, as a robe that covers our sinfulness and means that we can stand before God. So when you're deciding what to wear tomorrow, remember, God offers you a righteousness in Jesus. That's what you need more than anything else. Well, may God bless you. See you next week.